Welcome to Not a Real Court. I am your judge, Joe Hendry. Joined with me, as always, I have the bad guy, Kenny,
Oh yeah.
and I have the good guy, Matt.
Good guy indeed. Let's go.
And today we have a crossover episode with two people from Book It, Joe and Kenny. I'm not actually from Book It yet, but I will be shortly. So this week we are going to be doing a draft of the best wrestling finishing moves. And I was the one that won the toddler items for items for toddler dads. That's what it was. Draft. So I will be the judge for this one. And as you know, I am the biggest wrestling fan to ever live this on this earth. So I will be the perfect judge for this because I know everything. Although I may have to look up the moves. We'll go ahead and get started here. So I have Matt. You'll be going first, and we're going to be doing the snake draft. And we're going to go with, what do you guys think, 15?
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go 15 rounds. Matt, you're up.
If we're going to talk the most iconic, not only was it just an honor for you to take this move, but just how well you could sell it became its own clip. The Stone Cold Stunner is and forever will be the ultimate icon of all finishers.
All right.
Okay.
Kenny?
So I'm not gonna go too crazy with mine. 'Cause I know you don't know all these finishers. So I'm just gonna stick to ones you would know. I'm gonna go with the first one being the go to sleep.
Ooh.
All right. Kenny,
Way
you're up
down
again.
on my list.
Wade, really?
Way down.
Go
I
to,
love
go to
this.
sleep
I love this.
is one of the greatest finishing moves to me. Like that move is crazy.
All right, so I'll just say where I have it, go to sleep. The AA and the F5 to me are the same thing. They're just the same move, and none stands out to me compared. And maybe it's just because the three of them
What
exist
do you mean? The
that it
F5
takes
doesn't
away.
even look like it.
No, but it's the same thing. It's let me just put you up my shoulders and fucking do something to you. It's the same. They're doing the same
I mean, you
thing.
can say that with any move.
That's I've never necessarily cared for any of those three moves because, and I get it. Maybe it's just me, but they just never differentiated themselves from each other.
No, well, that go to sleep. That's when he throw you off, and then knees you dead in the face as you come down. It's crazy.
With
If you seen Kenta do it too, it's even crazier. My next one is going to be one of the greatest out of nowhere finishes of all time. Going with the RKO.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Matt?
For my next one, definitely I think the entire package, right? The nobody else has this move. It was just the perfect thing for the character, the pin afterwards, everything that's always come with it. The tombstone just has so much history to it, and it's just happened in so many amazing spots that it's hard not to put it up this high.
All right.
And then the next one I'm gonna go with. Oh, I have a couple here that I really wanted to go with, but I'm gonna go with tag team or finisher. And I think it was the best one ever because it worked in so many different situations, especially when you had a table somewhere in between. But I think if I remember correctly, there's only one person that ever kicked out of the 3D. And I think it was Edge, but it was that's just how devastating of a move the Dudley Boys 3D was. Like that thing was just the perfect finisher, and it's been in again so many huge spots, putting people through tables that it's got. I think it's the best tag team one by far.
Okay.
Not mad at that.
Kenny?
So my next one is the Braun Breaker version of the spear.
Oof.
Which I was arguing for years. This was the best spear we've ever seen, and I was chewed out by everybody for saying, "You ridiculous over Roman Reigns, you tripping." And now we got Mert saying Braun Breaker, greatest spear of all time. All right, and my next one is it's a submission move, actually. One of my favorite moves of all time. I've done this to everybody. This is my move, my go-to move in wrestling. The Walls of Jericho.
I just want everyone
I
to
can
know
play wrestling with a female. The Walls of Jericho is coming.
Kenny has never done this to me, so he has not done it to everyone.
You're right.
I'm honestly surprised that we didn't wrestle at WrestleMania. Like, I'm surprised that there wasn't a wrestling match that broke out in the Airbnb between anyone. To be fair, Damone would have probably died, so
He
that
said he would
makes
have
sense.
snapped it out.
Yeah, he had a wrestling match at the toilet. All right.
All right, I'm going up to the ropes for my next two picks. For both of them. First, again, if I'm going up to the top rope, if there's one move that I hope every single person is at least trying to do, you're throwing up the fingers like this and you're trying to pull off the Swanton Bomb. Please just don't break your neck when you're doing so. But that is like the off the top rope move. So that's the off the top rope move. When I think you then try to put in together the move plus the person, Eddie Guerrero's frog splash is, I mean, it has one of the best moments affiliated to it, I think, in wrestling that there is.
Okay. Kenny?
Okay, so with mine, for its time, it was crazy. We see everybody do it now, but at the time, this move was ridiculous. The Canadian Destroyer. Seeing somebody flip into a pile driver was unheard of when we first saw it. Peter, we were like, "What? What did he just do?" Now people do it off the top rope, people do it off the apron, but when we first saw a flipping pile driver, we was like, "This is the craziest thing ever." I was like, "The future is now." So I'm going that one, and then I am also going with the shooting star press.
Mm.
That move is just beautiful to see every time.
All right. Matt?
I can't not do the most electrifying move in sports entertainment. So I have to take the people's elbow at this point.
The fact that move was only created to make Undertaker laugh is wild. Like he literally created that move just to break Undertaker.
No, and that's how damn good it is.
Like that's the only reason that move was even created.
And then almost to like what your point was about the one move that I would always do, especially submission moves that I would always do to somebody that actually hurt like hell. But to have a figure four be as famous as it was, to have that move be the move of the person who won the most championships at that time. But hang on, because I'm not taking the figure four. But to then have your daughter come through and make that move into her own in an even more perfect way to where she can differentiate herself. I think the figure eight is one of the more underrated, but one of the more important moves that there is for any person in their own standard career, because she had to break away from him and had to make her own. And I really think that she did in that figure eight.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. That's a good one. That's my goat anyway, so so I'm gonna agree.
You guys still haven't picked my number one, just so you know. Kenny?
My next one is one move that it's so good it's banned. I'm going with the punt kick. Randy Orton's punt kick, especially when he was a heel back in the day, and he just punt. It don't matter who it was, male, female, John Cena's dad. He used to punt, he used to punt everybody. It was ridiculous. And then my next one, over the years, I've liked it more. I think back in the day, we've seen it done before, but I think when he does it, it's a little more fire. I think this move you might be talking about they call it the haluva kick. I thought it was the hell of a kick.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because the way it's spelled, like hell of a kick, but it's haluva kick for some reason, which is stupid.
Well, let's make it the battle of the kicks. Let's throw Sweet Chin music here.
That was
Fuck,
that
man.
was my next one. Good one. That was my next one.
Oh, I'm so pissed you did that because I was like, when is this coming?
Yeah, that was my next one.
So I actually had it a lot lower on my list originally until we started talking about it as an iconic move. And I think Sweet Chin music itself, like I think the super kicks have devalued it now at this point as a move itself.
Yep.
But for it by itself, like when I say Sweet Chin music, you know what that is and you know who it comes from.
I honestly love watching really old wrestling because it seems so much more intense when they do a move.
Yeah. Yep.
Because back then, when they hit the finisher, that was it. It's not like AEW where you can hit the finisher 18 times and they still kick out. Like now, like back then, it was like the sweet chin music's coming. It's a wrap. The match is over. So when somebody did kick out, it was a moment. It was like, oh shit.
He tuned it up. That was I definitely think the tuning up of the leg stomp, that was always
It was
my favorite setup too for the finisher.
Yeah, I think that one. I like Randy Orton's old setup. I know people like this whole thing with the RKO now, but back in the day when he was like cocky, he would just stand there with his hand like this, and then he would like, "Come on." He's kind of raised up with you, like, "Come on," and then he hit the RKO. That shit was clean every time.
I used to hate the ooh so much, but
During
the last during the last 2 years of that run, it just I did start to get hyped.
It's the fact that Roman Reigns, he'd be like, he make that face. Ooh. And then that little Superman punch.
Oh yeah, dude. Man,
right.
That one. I'm so excited because I'm watching. So I'm on my quest to watch every single WWE pay per view ever and WWF. And right now I'm working through all the SummerSlams, and I just made it to 2018. But so that means that I'm close to being able to go back and watch OG Royal Rumbles, because I'm gonna start with the beginning of those.
That's my favorite.
But I love when I start back over at the old shit, because it's a hype seeing Shawn Michaels and stuff. Like when they do, I just love watching the old stuff because it just seems so much better. Honestly, like I know there's a lot of cool shit that still happens, but it just seems like it's not effective.
Yeah.
Like Jey Uso with his fucking 16 super kicks he did to his brother and still just wasn't.
That match was god awful.
Whenever AEW did that, speaking of super kicks, the fucking super kick explosion thing, like that was stupid.
You saw when his foot blew up, like his firework. I'm not gonna lie, I fucked with that.
I mean, listen, okay. So I when it happened, I definitely was like, oh shit. But it was just also like, that's how far the super kick has come. That like now I need to make it be an explosion of like to make it worth something.
That shit was crazy.
All right, Matt, you're still up.
All right,
wait. Before you go, the frog splash you have, is that specifically Eddie Guerrero's frog splash?
I think it's the cleanest and most beautiful one there is. So yes, I'll put it as his.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Even better than Dominic Mysterio's.
Yes.
I might have Dominic on.
I like Dominic, but his frog splash is like, that's not. I don't think it's top 10. I don't even think it's top 10. Because you still got to go RVDs, Montez Ford. Seth Rollins has a pretty clean frog splash as well, especially when he turns his body in the air too, and he does it like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cold frog splashes out there.
Honestly, Logan Paul should start to be in that conversation a little bit.
Logan Paul got a cold one too.
D'Lo
Brown.
There it was. I was sitting. I'm like, who had the fucking chest
D'Lo
protector?
Brown had a cold one. And then you also have, if y'all watch Evolve, well, no, she's out now. But Danny Palmer, she used to do a split in the air, like she literally like touch or tip of her toes, and then land, which was clean.
Oh, did you say when Orton did that? Didn't he do that like recently? He like jumped up and like touched his toes, or was that like a long time ago?
That was a minute ago. He got so hyped after hitting the RKO on Mark Henry. I was like,
that's okay. Yes, did the toe touch. Yes,
that shit was so goofy and out of character.
All right. Let me keep going to this. All right, so my next one, I'm specifically for a fraction of time here, because I always thought the mandible claw was cool.
Damn it!
But when you throw the sock on there and get Mr. Socko, that was such a great addition to that move to make it fun.
That's a good one.
Rock and Sock Connection. What a team name.
That was my next one too. Good one.
All right, Kenny.
Okay, my next one is. I gotta listen. Let me go because I want to. Try to make sure you don't pick this either, though. I'll just go with the old school pile driver. Just the old school pile driver. Like that shit was like it's banned in WWE, but the pile driver was always cold.
So I do have pile driver on here, and I was gonna say like I had it as a. Do I just pull the joke and be like, but specifically the Owen Hart pile driver?
Damn it!
Oh my.
Owen Hart used to injure everybody with that power driver.
Everybody.
Which is ridiculous. And my next one, I'm gonna have to go with the. Damn, I got some good ones on here. Okay, I'm gonna go with the pedigree. Go with the pedigree. Go with the legendary pedigree.
All right. All right.
All right, Matt.
In a specifically troll move, I will take the angle slam.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Kurt Angle's my goat, so that's my male goat. So I'll definitely take it.
And then for my next one, all right. So you can tell me if I can't take this because I don't think it was technically his finisher, but it was definitely his signature move. I would take Rikishi's stink face.
He never finished anybody with that. I mean, look, you can put that on there. I'm not gonna argue. I feel like you can do signatures, like setups. You can do setups too. I'm cool with it.
I was saying, wasn't like, did The Rock ever really finish somebody with people's elbow?
Yes, he finished Cody with it. I'm still mad about that.
Actually, okay, fair. That's fair.
Cody went through hell and back, but people's elbow was what stopped him in the tag match at WrestleMania. Disgusting.
All right, Kenny.
Okay, so my next one is going to be the Sister Abigail.
Mm.
Ooh, the Sister Abigail on that one.
All right.
I'm mad at myself for forgetting that one.
And my next, I don't know if you know this move, but it's called the Gringo Killer that Homicide used to have. It was a vertebraker. I don't know if you've seen that move, the vertebraker, but he literally he hooks your arm from behind. Usually you're bent over, and he has his back to you, and then he hooks both your arms, and then kind of turns his body and lifts you up in the air. So now you're suspended in air, upside down, and he still got your arms hooked, and he just drives you straight down into the ground, breaking your neck. And it looks crazy every time he does it.
Oh, okay. I just watched it.
Yeah, that move was disgusting. You're like, oh!
Yep. All right, Matt.
Speaking of a killer, let's go with the crossface crippler.
Damn it.
All right.
I'm sorry. That was terrible, but I had to do it there.
You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure today is the day that he did it.
Oh, man.
I'm like 99% sure. Let me look.
I'll look it up. You go ahead. Get the episode going.
June 22nd. We're 2 days off.
Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The
It's
next
been a whole year
one,
since I found out about it.
Yeah, that was crazy. You found out. That was wild.
Matt, you ever hear that story?
I did not, actually.
I didn't know Chris Benoit murdered his family or that he was dead. And we were at WrestleMania watching GCW or something like no
It was
blood.
GCW.
blood
It was GCW.
yeah,
It was GCW.
GCW Bloodsport. And someone said something about Chris Benoit killing his family. I was like, what? Because he was in my
It's
top
not
10.
funny that happened. It was just funny the way you found out. It was just hilarious.
And he was in my top 10 wrestlers. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like going over it. And I was like, holy shit. But if they wouldn't have randomly mentioned that there, I would have found out during the Vince McMahon documentary.
Oh.
It still would have been shocked.
Oh, it was like that to me was almost like you're gonna have to help me here, but from Game of Thrones, the dude that had the deer thing when he burned his own daughter. Like I feel like that's almost like because I was starting to like him, like right at the moment, and then
he didn't want to do that. To be fair, he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
He did not.
Wow.
He found out on the way back home. Remember, he didn't want to do it. He came back. It was like, yeah, we're doing this.
Well, listen, Benoit might not have either. It was just this. It was just the CTE that wanted to. All right, I'm done talking about that dead person. Let's throw some homage to a great dead person, because even though he's dead, bad guys never die. So I'm putting in the Razor's Edge here.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was on my list. It was further down though. It was on my list.
All right, Kenny.
We've been talking about AEW, so I'm gonna put in Hidden Blade in there. Will Ospreay. It looks like, especially certain people, he'd be like, bitch, like it look like it hurts sometimes. Like, golly.
Yep.
And then my next one is going to be the. Did we already say package power driver?
We have pile driver.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go package power driver.
All right, Matt. This is your last two.
I'm gonna go back for a minute. Just because when I think back to some of the older moves, like again, this is stopping too short because I actually do think for an iconic move, Macho Man's like flying elbow was a great move, but like it just also wasn't a great move. It was just a fucking elbow from the second rope type thing.
Well, you
So
got
I
to
don't
remember
want to
at
give
that
it the
time that was crazy.
no, I don't. That's what I mean. It was. So I do want to give that a lot of love, and like that's close to being on my list. But where I got to make this cutoff, it's going to be between that one and the one I'm going to go with because I like it more from that time frame. Was Lex Luger and his torture rack, like just fucking throwing a dude up and just making him tap out from just torturing him up on their shoulders was such a fucking baller move for a guy who then ends up power slamming Yokozuna. Like it was so much a part of his story.
Okay.
And my last one. Can I just take the Ultimate Warrior's no sell? I don't actually know what the Ultimate Warrior's like finisher was, but
It was
just
a
where he would
splash. It
just
was a
start
splash.
like just you could just punch me and nothing would happen. I'm just gonna go crazy on the ropes. I feel like that was just his finisher was a no sell.
No, his finisher was a splash. He would literally just run and just jump on you. That was it. Ultimate Warrior was terrible. I hated
all right,
that.
all right. Then I won't take the no sell. I'll go back up and take.
I mean, you could have did that.
No, actually, no. I'll go back to the tag team thing, and we'll go with the. I feel like the OG tag team move, the Doomsday Device.
That's a great one.
All right, Kenny. Last pick.
I'm going with the female finisher. This finisher at the time, well, still now, this shit's crazy. The Widow's Peak by Victoria. That move was nasty every time she did it.
I thought you were taking Devil's Kiss. I was like,
Nah, I thought about that just to be a troll kind of thing, but I was like, nah, I gotta go with the real finisher. That move was disgusting. Have you seen that move, Joe?
I believe so, but I'm looking it up really quick.
Yeah, it's called the Widow's Peak, and that shit looked crazy every time. She stole that from what's his name? I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. Roderick Strong. She took from Roderick Strong. And it looked crazy every time. It's just the fact that she grabs you, she just like drops straight down her knees. That's probably like, to me, that's one of the greatest wrestling finishes, or female wrestling finishes ever. KOD, I almost put the KOD in there, but I think this move is better.
I also almost put KOD in there, but I do agree. I think this is an awesome move. Would you? I'm curious. I know I brought up the F5. The next one on my list, and would you have let me put Suplex City in there as just a move, like just the fucking like 3 back-to-back German suplexes just to crush somebody's spirit?
Well, here's the thing, because it's another thing where, depending on who's doing it, because I feel like,
Okay, so I would have called it Suplex City, specifically calling it Brock.
yeah, because I was gonna say, because Brock, in my opinion, did it the worst. Because I think Kurt Angle did it better, and Chris Benoit did it better.
Benoit definitely did it better.
Yeah, Benoit did it better, and I think Kurt Angle did it better as well. Because when they did it, it was lit. It was kind of like, it felt like Brock only had 5 moves in his arsenal at one point, and that was one of them. Especially when he went up against John Cena. I don't know if you got there yet. I think that was a SummerSlam.
Brock versus John Cena.
Yeah, when he just German suplexed him like 40 times in the match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched that one.
Yeah, that match sucked. Like that match, that's all it was. It was just German suplex to German suplex, and then F5 and pin.
So can I ask you? I just want to see. So I had a list on here. If I wanted to go back to the spear of who I had ranked in order of my 5 best spears, and I will give you. I actually did put Braun as my number 2, but I'm curious then.
Oh my gosh,
how you would rank your other ones, and your other options then are Edge, Brock, Goldberg, and Roman.
You said Edge. You said Brock.
Yeah.
Brock used the spear.
Oh yeah.
And then you said Roman, and then who was the last person you said?
And Goldberg, like prime Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I would say Edge is definitely at the bottom. Edge, I thought he had the worst spear.
Ooh, okay.
He had the worst spear. And so I'm going. So I got to use him. I'm putting in number 5. Then I would say Brock at number 4 because his wasn't really a spear. His is kind of like a double leg takedown. That's why I was like, he got a spear. I thought about it. He's got that move. So I'll put him at number 4. Then I'll put. You said Roman, right?
Yeah.
Roman number 3. Goldberg number 2 because Goldberg had a nasty spear. And then Braun Breaker is number 1. Like it's not even an argument. Like it's not even an argument.
I got Breaker the first 3 slots, then I got Roman, and then I got Moose.
Moose is a good one. I think Moose and Lashley did it the same exact way, where they kind of like flip with it when they speared you, which that's my favorite version of it. But Braun does it every way. That's what's crazy. Is like he can do the snap one, he can do the one where he like stretches his whole body out, like kind of like how Roman does, and then he's got that flip one he does too.
And he does it all while running 23 miles per hour.
He's running! Oh my god! It's always what's his name? Corey Graves. Oh my god, he's running around and he got him with it.
All right, so let's go ahead and see who is the better wrestler here. We got the Stone Cold Stunner against the Go to Sleep. This is a really good first round. I do really like the highlight clips of the Stunner though, so I'm gonna go with that.
I'm not mad at this. The Stunner was more iconic, but the Go to Sleep was just visually terrifying to watch. Especially like I said, watch when Kenna does it. It's always crazy.
Go to Sleep is phenomenal. I can't believe Matt had it far down on his list. Tombstone versus the RKO. You already know it's the GOAT. Tombstone.
I saw that coming. As soon as I picked RKO, and no, sorry, as soon as you picked Tombstone, I was like, he got it because he's the Undertaker fan.
I did have the Tombstone as my number 2, like, and RKO is my number 3 overall, but like that one was a tough one. I thought he might go RKO there.
And we got the 3D versus the Bronze Spear. I'm going the Bronze Spear. Going with Swanton Bomb versus Walls of Jericho. I'm taking the Swanton. Frog Splash versus Canadian Destroyer. Taking Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
People's Elbow versus the Shooting Star Press. Absolutely Shooting Star Press.
See, you're not taking it from the iconic standpoint, but okay.
Yeah, super iconic. Figure 8 versus Punt Kick. I'm going Punt Kick.
Hey.
I have an iconic move that's banned.
That's how iconic it is.
That's how good it is.
That's like saying the pile driver's not good.
Remember how hyped we were though when he was about to hit Kevin Owens with it, and then security snatched him out.
We were.
All right, this next one is very hard because Sweet Chin Music is so good watching old wrestling, but the Haluva kick is like my number 1. The kick versus the kick after the kick. Fuck. I'm taking the Haluva kick.
Hey.
I can't let Sammy down. Sammy always
Sweet Chin
wins.
Music should have won, but it's already
that's
already recorded.
It's already recorded.
Sweet Chin Music is definitely better, but it's already recorded.
See, I really like Sweet Chin Music, but the Haluva kick is just so fucking cool when he like the way that he runs through them. Yeah, it's the build up, but then the way he runs through them with the kick too. I love it. And the GOAT's doing it. Mandible Claw versus Pile Driver. I'm going with the Claw.
Not mad at that.
The Angle Slam versus the Pedigree. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the Pedigree. I'm going Angle Slam.
I also don't like the Pedigree, so I appreciate that pick.
What?
Yep. Stinkface versus Sister Abigail. Sister Abigail is one of my favorite moves. Crossface Crippler versus the Gringo Killer. Going Gringo Killer.
Yay.
Razor's Edge versus the Hidden Blade. We're going with Hidden Blade.
Hey.
Torture Rack versus Package
Razor
Pile Driver. I'm going. What?
I said Razor's Edge should have won, by the way, but
I don't.
It's already recorded. It's already recorded.
I don't like Razor's Edge. I'm going with the Torture Rack.
Ew, I hate that move. That's the move I hate. You want to talk that? I hate that move.
And then the Doomsday Device versus the Widow's Peak. I like Doomsday Device, even though I fucking hate them. All right.
Mm.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1,
That was a
2,
close
3,
one.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Kenny got it.
Let's go. That was a nail
Jesus
biter.
Christ.
That was a close one by 1.
I mean, I would have won by 2 if anybody else was judging it.
What'd you say?
What?
You would have won by 1 because
That's Sweet Chin Music and Razor's Edge.
RKO is better than the Tombstone. That's better than the Tombstone.
Okay,
Are
actually,
you kidding me?
Yes,
I'll give you that.
RKO was way better than Tombstone.
But also the pedigree one and most other people. So technically we end up at the same score.
Kenny still takes the angle slam over the pedigree.
No, I like the pedigree over the angle slam.
Oh.
But I'll choose Kurt Angle over Triple H though.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle's my goat. Like that's my boy. But the pedigree's a better finisher than that.
All right. Well, because Matt had attitude, he gets to do the plugs.
Well, we're gonna start by trying to give Joe an attitude adjustment and tell you that
I like that callback.
he should go on to T13 Media. That's the letter T, the number 1, and then the word media.com.
No.
So
No, you actually missed you missed
T1,
3 there.
The 3 media.com. There it is. And that's where you can watch the number 1 rated show on T13 Media. This one. This one. We are the number 1 rated show. You can watch all the great episodes there. You can also watch some of our other podcasts, like Joe.
Geek in the motherfucking sheets.
Yeah.
Movie review.
Yeah.
The bad guy has spoken.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it like that. Unbiased. Book it.
Yeah. That's it.
That was all of them.
Well, with that then, we welcome you all, except for Joe, a great night.
Good day.